Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new review today on Max Talks Movies, a new brand new episode. And today, my new review is the Netflix original film Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. If you have seen this film already, which came out today on Netflix, let me know down below in the comment section. Do you like the movie? Do you not like the movie? And if you have not seen the movie, you just saw the trailers, are you interested in seeing the film? And tell me where that ranks for you, not just on Netflix, but on the year as a whole. The film is about when aspiring musicians Lars, played by Will Ferrell, and Sigrid, played by Rachel McAdams, are given the opportunity to represent their country at Eurovision, which is the huge song contest, and they have a chance to prove themselves fighting for their dreams. Now, I didn't want to see any trailer for this movie. I saw that it came out, but I wasn't particularly interested in seeing a trailer for this film. As a whole, I was so pumped because I knew what the cast was. Will Ferrell, once again, Rachel McAdams are our two leads. Also, Pierce Brosnan is in the movie. Demi Lovato is in the movie. Dan Stevens as well are really the main cast members here. And how this review works, guys, I'll tell you my positives, then my negatives, then I'm going to go into my score, and then I'll tell you where this ranks for me on the year for both Netflix original movies and overall of the year for film. So for me, I was, as I said, pretty excited, even though I haven't seen a trailer. For sure, the best part of this film is the cast here. The cast is really strong, led by these two actors, Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, who give a really good performance in our leads. And they also, they're lip singing a lot of the movie, and they're also auto-tune their voices. You got to live with that. This is not the type of movie it's just kind of a spoof. I'm not really familiar with Eurovision, but you can't really take this movie that seriously to a point where you're critiquing them lip syncing or just their auto-tuned voices. Because if they were just singing normally, I don't think this movie would work at all. In general, yeah, the cast is super strong. I actually think Rachel McAdams is the best part of the movie. I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan, and I was actually excited to see him take this role. But for me, actually, Rachel McAdams is the one who I think completely works much better in the movie than Will Ferrell does. And she is the more relatable character, and you're actually rooting for her character more than his throughout the movie. And that was interesting because they're really both equally the lead, but you can kind of feel Will Ferrell's has a lot more emotional storylines going on. But she has a lot also going on in her life, and the fact of being swayed by Dan Stevens at times, the fact that she's always listening to what Will Ferrell asks, and she just doesn't really get to sing her own songs. It's always about his dream, and she wants to also have her own dreams of her own. And I actually like that plot line as well. Pierce Brosnan's good. I'll go to his storyline a bit later. Dan Stevens steals a lot of scenes in this movie. Now, obviously, I knew he could sing from he was in the live-action Beauty and the Beast, but he is super funny. He plays a Russian. He's kind of the favorite to win Eurovision, and he is hilarious in this film. Really funny, really over the top, but it works for what the film is asking for. Also, guys, another huge strength for this movie is the songs themselves. The songs themselves are actually really good, really catchy, and it makes the film really entertaining. Now, I would say this movie is super, super entertaining. Like, I was never bored for the 2-hour and 3-minute runtime. I was kind of invested in what was going on for most of the film, but that will move me into my overall negatives of the film. And while it was super entertaining, I was very disappointed on how really not funny this movie was. This movie is way more entertaining than it was funny, and that is definitely not what I expected. And I feel like they went for a lot of jokes, and I just wasn't laughing as well. Now, they make a lot of good jokes, in my opinion, about Iceland. That's where our two leads are from. That's what they're singing for. But there's a lot of jokes, one about Americans that when those characters pop on screen falls completely flat. There's also, they're trying to make some comedy, and it feels like for me, like either I'm not getting the jokes or I just wasn't laughing. I didn't belly laugh once during this movie. But the difference between some of the other comedies that I've seen this year is that sometimes I belly laughed, but I haven't really enjoyed the story. In this one, I've really enjoyed the story. It was really entertaining, but I wasn't really laughing. And you need both to work, because this film could have actually been pretty fantastic if you think about this, how entertaining this movie is and how funny it could have been. Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams are really funny people. Obviously, they worked together. They were, I mean, they weren't on screen together, but they were in Wedding Crashers, which is a really great movie. And I wish that they were funnier. I think the script doesn't really help them out whatsoever. Will Ferrell is doing a lot of Will Ferrell-isms, and sometimes it becomes a little much in this movie, and that's coming from someone who absolutely loves Will Ferrell. Also, there's a storyline between Will Ferrell and his dad, played by Pierce Brosnan, that is super rushed, super generic, and you know exactly what is going to happen with their storyline. And it's really over the top. It's really, really, really over the top, and you've seen their type of storyline in movies a million times. And they want to make that one of the centerpieces of the movie, and for me, it doesn't work. And another huge issue with the movie is that there are way too many storylines going on in this film. Will Ferrell has multiple storylines, fighting with himself, having a relationship with another person here at the Eurovision contest, and his relationship with his dad, while also having to have a really good relationship with Rachel McAdams. And then Rachel McAdams has a storyline, once again, with Will Ferrell, with her mom, with her students in Iceland, with Dan Stevens. And for me, there's way too much going on. And the film needed to be a lot simpler. And the movie is 2 hours and 3 minutes. This movie, for me, easily could have been an hour 40, an hour and a half. The fact that this ticked over 2 hours was really shocking to me, because the movie should have been a lot faster. It was a little slow, even though I was entertained. It was a little slow. We were kind of dragging our way through the semifinals of this tournament, through the qualifying rounds, and through the finals. It felt like we were taking a long time to get to what we actually wanted to see, which was our two leads performing on these stages. And it took way too long to get to those things. So overall, guys, I will give Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, a 2.5 out of 5. I'll give it a 52%. It's a pretty average movie. It's really entertaining and has an absolute great cast, but there is way too much going on, a very predictable plot in here, and we have a predictable plot and way too much going on in general. And in the movie was very disappointing in its comedy. While it's very entertaining, it isn't really funny. My overall ranking of the year, I have Eurovision Song Contest, Story of Fire Saga, number 10 on the year. So it's in my top 10 on Netflix original movies out of the 24 movies I've seen this year on Netflix, and out of the 36 movies I've seen of the year in general, this movie ticks in at number 20. So let me guys, if you're new to Max Talks Movies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. The more you guys support the channel, the more bigger we get in the YouTube atmosphere as well. If you have seen Eurovision, please tell me down below. Do you agree with my opinion? Do you disagree with my opinion? Tell me your thoughts of Eurovision in non-spoiler fashion in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen the movie, did I get you excited for this movie, or did I lose you on possibly seeing this movie this afternoon? It's Netflix. We're in quarantine. Gotta watch whatever you can watch, and this is a good watch during quarantine. Also, don't forget to hit that notification button if you're interested in streaming platform reviews, TV show reviews, and movie reviews. All of those things will be up here on this YouTube channel. If you like any of those three things, I recommend subscribing to the channel. Also, I have a big announcement to make tomorrow. It's already up on my channel, but if you haven't seen it yet, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Saturday, June 27th, me and actor Ty Simmons, who's my best friend, we will be doing a 1-hour live stream on my YouTube channel from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon Pacific time. So Eastern time, that's 2 to 3. We'll be ranking the DCEU movies, and we're going to be ranking the Star Wars films. We're going to get into a heated discussion. I know I disagree with him a lot, and he disagrees with me a lot. If you're interested in seeing that video, join us in the comment section live. I want to have a great conversation with you guys. If you guys like it, also tell us in the comment section of that video. That'll do it for me. Eurovision, for me, an average movie, but some entertaining characters and a very entertaining movie itself. I'll see you guys tomorrow.